news recently
Uh-huh.
about attachment styles, and I'm sure everyone has heard anxious and avoidant a million times this
Right,
year. I
right.
actually only recently heard of it this year, back in maybe February.
Uh-huh.
And I, listening to them, I'm like, oh, some of that sounds like me. Some of that sounds like, some of the guys I've dealt with. My question is it wrong to not use someone to get over your, say, avoidant attachment, but to explore it, I guess, so that you can heal it? I hope that makes sense.
You lost me, love.
Okay.
You have to explain that in a different way.
I know that I have some avoidant tendencies with a guy, and I actually, unfortunately, I sent like a out of the blue breakup text. We weren't together, but we were dealing with each other. But I said, hey, even as friends, I don't want to do this anymore. He immediately called me, and he was not happy about it, and I understood. And because the way I did it was not right.
Right.
It should have been a conversation. He was like, this should have just been a face-to-face conversation. I just wish you would have given me that respect. Fair enough.
Right.
I felt that way because I was like, well, this isn't going anywhere. We're not going to be together. But I'm wondering, should I have continued through and maybe gone through a few more steps so that I could practice not being avoidant, not being anxious, if that makes sense, even though it wasn't going to be a relationship? So I feel like I'm using somebody. Okay. Well, hold on now.
Yeah.
I'm not fully innocent at all, but he was the one that didn't want to go further, and I was fine with that. But I still felt like, Ashley, you could have worked through it. Do you know what I mean? In a healthier way. Okay.
That's not. I mean, the only thing you could have done, like, is tell him in person, like, okay, I agree with that. If y'all, have progressed up to the phase where a text message won't suffice, it will seem disrespectful, right? But if he's already told you he doesn't want to be with you, then you're no longer working on your attachment style and dynamic, right? It's like it needs to be like an authentic connection that is progressing towards increased intimacy. That is how you work on that.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. Okay, I was holding a little bit of guilt, but that's all I had. Okay, thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you. All right. So, Hannah, back to that clip. 10,000 views. It's ridiculous. Already. The one I posted earlier today was at 25.6K. It's a combination of Facebook and Instagram. But the one I literally just posted is going crazy right now. It's not even 10 minutes old. Huh. Yeah, I saw what you said, Marty. No worries, love. No rush. Kind of a rush because, longer you wait, the longer you have these issues. But you will solve them once we get on the call. 11K. 11K views. I don't know if I'll have a podcast deleted, Betty. If I ever do anything podcast related, it will probably just me repurposing these lives in like an audio podcast. I don't foresee myself having the bandwidth to do these lives, make content, including short form and long form YouTube videos, talk to clients, and do a podcast. That's a lot. I already work 24/7 as it is. I don't really have the bandwidth to do anything else. Hello. All right. It didn't mean to come up. All right, people. If you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. That will make your request up. I'll bring you on, talk to you, solve your issue. You get a guaranteed solution. I promise. But you can also drop your question in the chat. You won't get a guaranteed solution in the chat, though, because I can't ask you questions. So you get a surface level answer in the chat. But if you call in, we can go deep. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm currently going through a breakup. This is my first relationship that I've had, and I'm just basically finding myself like struggling to move on, and I just need advice. This person broke up with me, and the issues in the relationship was I basically felt like I wasn't getting my needs met emotionally, and I felt the resistance from him that he didn't want to change anything or try to because of everything going on in his life.
Okay. What needs were you not getting met emotionally within the relationship?
I just felt like it almost felt like when we were dating, his effort and consistency was there, but once the relationship started, I slowly started to see it die down.
Okay.
And I would call it out and how it made me feel like I didn't like it. Not that it needed to be perfect, but it felt like I was carrying the relationship and trying to make it work with the effort and consistency, but I wasn't feeling anything from his end. And he just basically essentially told me that with things going on in his life currently, he doesn't feel like he can give me that at that moment. And to me personally...
Okay, hold on 1 second. Specifically, what was missing? Because you're being very vague right now. So specifically, what was he not doing?
I mean, I was initiating texts, calls, plans. Like, there was no initiation, it felt like, on his part to maintain the relationship. It felt like I was putting in that work.
Okay.
And I was starting to grow tired of it, basically. I was starting to grow exhausted. It was like a few weeks that was happening, and it just felt like it was all on me during those few weeks. And we were long distance. So the communication there started to die down on his part, and I was initiating everything.
Okay.
And it started to become frustrating.
Gotcha. You were long distance. Like, how far apart were you?
Okay, it's not long distance. It was like an hour and 34 minutes, but our schedules were very not aligning with work because he was an engineer working 12-hour shifts.
Okay. So when you brought this up to him, what was his response?
His response was that he would try to like fix those issues, but as time went on, there was no change. And I would try to give it like days. Like, for instance, I brought up like, hey, like, I feel like I'm initiating a lot of the calls and it's making me feel away. And it never changed. Like, I still had to be the one to initiate calls because I like waited almost a week, and the initiation, like, he did not call. Like, I had to be the one to call. It did not happen.
So when you waited a week, y'all just didn't speak for a week?
No, he just didn't call me. We were still texting, but at the same time, I was initiating those good morning texts.
Okay. How frequently did y'all talk?
For like texting,
just
almost
in general,
almost every day, because he didn't want to go a day without texting.
What do you mean he didn't want to go a day without texting? He told you that?
Like, he just said that he preferred to not go too long without us, like, at least checking in with each other to make sure that we were good.
Okay. So ideally, how frequently would you want to talk to him?
I didn't need to talk to him every single day, but like, I think it's because I'm a phone call type of person.
Okay.
Like, I like to like have like quick phone calls type of thing. I think he was more like texting and I was more like a caller. Actually, he did say that. He said that he's not big on like calling, but he like would prefer to text. But me, I liked calling more than texting.
Right.
Didn't need to be every day, but I just liked the dynamic more when we would call.
Right. Okay. So how long were y'all in a relationship for?
It only lasted a month.
Whoa.
Because we started getting into issues very quickly.
How did y'all meet?
Like arguments. We met because he used to go to college with me.
Okay.
We met at college.
So your question is, how do you move on?
Yeah, from the breakup, it's pretty hard because I haven't been in a relationship in years. Like, I'm 23. My last relationship was in high school, and I did not date in college. At all. Like, I was focused on my degree and I shut myself out from dating. So I feel like I'm technically starting to get into dating right now.
Okay. How long ago did y'all break up?
Beginning of May of this year.
Beginning of May, so this is still bothering you?
Yeah.
Okay. How? In what way is it bothering you?
Just the way the relationship had kind of like went. I feel like we rushed into the relationship, and I think that's what I'm regretting, is getting into it too soon with him.
Okay, so how did you get into it too soon if you met him in college? Like, when did y'all start being romantic?
Well, we met in college, but we didn't actually start talking to each other until recently. So we officially started romantically talking at the end of February, and he asked me to be his girlfriend at the end of March.
Okay.
And then our relationship started from like end of March, and we broke up by beginning of May.
So in February, when y'all were just talking, did y'all ever see each other?
Yeah, we were going on dates and everything, and
Okay.
everything was fine.
Cool.
I think the thing that I should have noticed is that everything was going very, very well. And I think I was like tunnel vision and not possibly picking up maybe on red flags that I should have, the quickness of it.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So are you still talking to him? Are you still following him on social media, looking at his page? What are you doing?
We don't talk to each other anymore. Like, we don't have each other on social media or anything like that. And I deleted his number and everything. The only thing I would like admit that I still have is probably pictures in the camera roll, but I don't look at them or anything.
Okay.
But
Okay. What do you spend your days doing?
I work. I go to the gym. I started recently, like, going back to Pilates. And I've just been reading some, like, self-care kind of books. And I'll hang out with friends.
Okay.
That's pretty much it, what I'm doing right now. So, like, I feel like I also lost myself a little bit in the relationship.
Right.
Like, I kind of made him the center of my life, and I would kind of move things around in my life to kind of fit him instead of just doing like what I was doing originally and just fit him where I could fit him type of deal. I felt like I put him at the center, and so I started putting my focus solely on him.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So, honestly, love, there's no magical thing to do in this situation. You just have to let time do its thing, right? Because time heals all wounds. So you need more time to pass. Shouldn't take forever because this was only a month-long relationship, but it sounds like it was a pretty intense one. So there's that. But
I just care deeply and very quickly, which I should have been careful about that when dating him. Like, I don't know. I felt like I definitely got attached pretty quickly to him. He would also do a lot of future talking while we were dating very early on, and I think I got attached to the idea of what he was saying instead of his actions.
Right.
So I think that's what makes it hard to let go too, is because I got attached to an idea that he put out, and it didn't fall through.
Right. So you have to.
I guess essentially I blame myself as well for the relationship ending.
Okay.
Because of the amount of arguments. Like, I felt like I initiated a lot of our arguments, not wanting to argue, but just wanting him to kind of take accountability for certain things.
I got you. Okay. So the solution is, yes, you're going to have to grieve the relationship and grieve the future that you thought you would have with this person, right? So that means you have to feel the bad feelings so that you can actually process them and move on from them. Another thing I would do is stop looping on the relationship. This is a one month long relationship. There isn't that much to reflect on. You already learned the lesson. So another thing you have to stop doing is watering it with your attention and talking about it. It shouldn't be something that you talk about with your friends or try to get other people's perspective on things. That just keeps it alive and it keeps you tethered to the past. Okay? So you have to fully move on with your life. So grieve the connection. Stop talking about it so much, right? Spend time with your support system and keep working on goals and progressing on your hobbies and filling your life up. And then you'll be in a good spot.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem, love. You take care. Okay, I see some guys are trying to shoot in the chat. Y'all have no fucking couth. You hear somebody talking about their breakup and you're like, how emotionally disturbed they are, and check your inbox, cutie. My God, y'all are cooked. My God, y'all are cooked. Big dog, she's gonna check her inbox. You don't have to say it in the chat. You would think some things are common sense. People really don't have it. I was talking to a client recently, young guy, and he was talking about like his experience on dating apps. And I'm like, so what do you say to these women like when you're trying to match with them? He's like, oh, I say things like, damn, you sexy, or, you know, I need that. And he wasn't saying it ironically. That's what he actually was saying. That's what he actually was saying. I said, how's it working out for you? He said, it isn't. I said, yeah, I bet it's not working out for you. I bet it's not working out for you. Like, how do we not have any like a modicum of common sense? Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Let's move on. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. I just wanted to ask, I've been seeing a guy for about 2 months,
Okay.
and he's honestly done like everything right. I've fully stayed in my feminine, like he's fully leading everything. We have great dates.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of wanted to see like how there are ways that I could still stay in my feminine energy, but like reciprocate the energy without, I guess, being too in my masculine, if that makes sense.
Okay. Is there anything that you're doing right now that you feel like is you leaning more into a masculine disposition?
I'd say no. He's pretty much, we don't talk every single day, which is actually nice. He'll usually like go a day or two without talking, and then he'll text me and say, hey, like, I hope you have a great day. I'd love to call you later.
Mm-hmm.
So I've really kind of let him lead everything, but I guess I just don't know at what point, like, I can reciprocate energy, like, in a healthy way, but still keeping it as, like, him leading.
Okay. That's a good question. So, one thing is don't exceed his level of investment.
Okay.
I was talking to a woman client recently who, like, she was doing a whole bunch of things for the guy who she's seeing, right? He pours into the connection as well, but she really pours into the connection. I think that she like recently paid for like a birthday trip for them to they're not even in a relationship, they're just dating. So she wants commitment, right? So she's doing the anxious thing, which is, okay, let me try to love you into commitment. Let me do things for you so that you view me as like invaluable and you'll commit to me. I'm like, it's the wrong approach. It's the wrong approach. You want the man to stay in the masculine so that he still feels like he's pursuing and making progress. But you also don't want to seem like you're just taking advantage of the situation. So the way that you do that is you give a little bit, right? Give a little bit. You do kind things. You do kind gestures. Like for me, if I'm going on a date with a woman and we go on 3 or 4 dates and she doesn't make an effort to reciprocate at all, it's kind of like a red flag. But if she does something like buys a coffee or leaves a tip, or, you know, I had a situation, we went out for dinner and we went on a walk and there was like a little ice cream spot near the dinner place and she just paid for ice cream. Just little stuff. Those are small ways to just show that you're also investing in the connection.
Sure. Actually, I yesterday evening cooked dinner for him for the
Right.
first time because I felt like he's taken me on a lot of dates and
Mm-hmm.
paid, and I wanted to show my appreciation. I guess
There
I
it
was
is.
curious if that was something that was okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That still preserves the connection. That still preserves the connection. What I would keep an eye on though is, I'm not saying this is 100% what you're doing, but I think this question comes from a place of like you wanting to control the outcome here.
Sure. Yeah.
Got it. Yes, that's the final hurdle to clear is that trying to control the outcome. You got to really
Sure.
surrender to the process. It's a paradox, right? It's like you have to surrender to fate or God, but then also play your part, right? But you don't want to cling to it and try to force it to happen, because then you're coming from like the wrong energetic place. A lot of times when
Okay.
you find yourself in relationships, you weren't trying to get in them. As you
Sure.
get a little bit
Okay.
older, you start to that changes a bit, right? But when you were younger, you kind of just fell into shit, and it was like, oh, we're just here
Yeah.
now, right? You want to kind of like try to have that vibe with it, not like, okay, this is all going according to plan. I'm the project manager of this love affair, so let me make sure we're on schedule to get into a relationship, right? You don't want to
Right.
fall into that energy. But yeah, just let him pursue. We like doing that. We like pursuing. Even if men like consciously disagree with that, they still like it. They're just trying to be difficult. So we like pursuing. You, as things progress, there can be more of an equal level of investment. I'm not saying you stay in this place forever if you don't want to, but at least right now you want to kind of create space. Because like I tell women, like I told that same woman who was a client of mine, I'm like, you can't give access to all of you. There has to be like more levels to uncover.
Now, is this something that you would say, even if you got in a relationship with someone, that you would keep going during the relationship? I mean, obviously, I would still invest, but I always would. I don't know if I would stay like him constantly, always being the one to initiate things, if that makes sense. Like,
No, you can start initiating more. It's I would try to never. You don't have to be like neurotic over it, right? Not saying you are, but like you don't have to get to the point where like you're just measuring everything. But I don't think that ideally you don't want to come from a place where you are being the main initiator,
okay,
right? You don't want to come from that place. It's cool for you to initiate, but you don't want to be the main initiator. You don't ever want to flip the dynamic to where you're doing that. You gotta,
that makes total sense.
leave space for them to do it. That also comes from, because this is what kind of messes women up on relationships as well, or marriages. From my experience and the clients that I've talked to, is that initiation tendency also aligns with like them wanting things done around the house, or them wanting their man to do certain things. You have to give him the space to like do it his way,
Right.
right? Even if he messes it up. Like I was talking to a young lady the other day, and she was like, she went on a camping trip as like a group, and she knew how to camp better than the guys did, for lack of a better term, right? Like she knew what was going on. She knew how to do it, right? And she was trying to like tell them, like debate with them, don't do it this way, right? And another girl pulled her aside, and she was like, "They're men. Just let them do it. I know they're doing it wrong, but just let them do it, because just trust me, right?" And she said she learned a lesson from that experience. Like, yes, sometimes. Now there are times where you have to step in. Don't get me wrong. That's where the discernment comes in. Like the real important stuff sometimes. Like if he's doing his taxes and you realize he's making a big issue with the taxes, and you're like, oh, hold on, this is how you do it, right? Okay, maybe you step in there. But other things, like if it's not that big a deal, if it's not a life or death situation or something that's going to be a big blowback out of it, just let them fuck it up and have that agency.
Okay. No, that's definitely something I feel like I've been doing. This has also been a great learning experience, just because I think this is probably one of the first times that I've not tried to lead something, and it's gone really well. Regardless of whatever outcome happens in a few months, it's actually been nice to like realize, you know what, this is kind of why things worked for so long. Like for people before, like all of these women stepped in like a more masculine role. Like we were meant to be led. And so I actually think it's been like a really good learning experience. And I've actually watched a lot of what you've said and other people and really stayed in my femininity. And so far it seems to be working. But yeah, I really just wanted to see if there were small ways that I could show appreciation while still staying in that feminine mindset.
Right. Well, I feel good about this connection, even you wanting to reciprocate like that. That shows you're operating in good faith, and that's the best you can ask for when it comes to partnership. So definitely keep me posted on how things go. All right.
Yeah, I will. Thank you so much.
No problem, dear. You take care.
Bye.
Yeah, I like that. Pleasant call, huh? Pleasant. We like that. We like that pleasant energy. Not that whole as he should. That bullshit. It's just pleasant energy. All right. Let's see what Brooklyn got. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Can you get me?
What can I do for you?
Can you get me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm Brooke. Yeah, so I wanted to ask something.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it sounds like you're doing gymnastics. What's going on over there?
No. Sorry, I was walking upstairs. So my question is, I've been in a relationship for 2.5 years now, 2 years or 6 months now, and then when I first started dating this person, it was a thing where when they approached me, it wasn't somebody I would say okay, I would date this person, they're my type and stuff. So yeah, we started having great conversations together. Before we started dating,
Right.
we started having conversations and then going on dates. So with time, I kind of started liking him, even though he wasn't someone I would say I would see a future with or be okay, he's my type. So yeah, so after that, I kind of started liking him because of how he spoke and treated me. So I was okay, I think I like him. So from there, he started pursuing me, and then I think I liked him. I thought I liked him, so I was okay, we started dating and stuff. So after some weeks, it was a thing whereby that was my first relationship, and then I was just I don't really know how to go about a relationship, and then I don't even have any experience. How am I supposed to go about a relationship? So it was a thing whereby they were doing most of the thing, communication. I wasn't so good at communication and stuff, so it was I was learning. Yeah, so yeah, he made me feel loved and all that, and then it's every time I would not communicate because I'm okay, how am I supposed to do this? It's they would say, why you not other girls? I would go out, and then he just be okay, take care, and have fun. Why are you not blowing up my phone, check up on me and then ask me questions where are you and stuff? So it's I just don't get it. Am I really supposed to do that? You don't call me when I'm not online to just check up on me and what I'm doing. It's yeah. So it's is that really what I'm supposed to do? You just told me you're busy, so I'm gonna give you the whole day to do whatever you said you are doing. Must I start calling you and then checking up on you over and over? I'm giving you the space. So am I really supposed to do that? Yeah, so he kept on doing that, I think complaining the same thing over and over to say, you don't make me feel loved, da da da, and stuff. So I was okay. And then that went on for over 7 months. And then I'm after 7 months, I felt maybe I wasn't just emotionally too invested in that relationship. Like, I might have liked the guy, but it was like I wasn't just too emotionally invested in the relationship.
Look, hold
Maybe
on. I gotta
that's
stop you for a second, cause
okay.
what I don't even know what we're talking about. To be honest with you, you're all over the place. What's the core problem in question here, and how old are you?
I'm 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah, so the problem is like, um, due to certain things that I might have done back then, it's like, yeah, due to certain things that might have happened and then might have hurt him, and then now we're like, um, in 2026, that was like 2024, now it's like 2026, and then now it's like this person starts like pulling back, and then now I start noticing some changes, and I'm like, what is going on? You are one person that was like all over me, so like, what's up? So like, I was trying to ask him that question, and it was like, no, nothing, da da da. And I was like, do you still want to be in this relationship? And then the person says, yeah, I do want to be in this relationship, I do love you, I want to continue with our connection. I was like, okay, but then you just don't act like somebody who still wants to be in this
Okay,
relationship.
beloved.
Like, can you
Okay,
just tell me
beloved.
what's
Beloved,
up?
you're giving me like a play by play of every minute in this relationship. What question do
Oh,
you have here?
mhm. My question is, so it's a thing where like the person is expecting me to like put in efforts into like rebuilding the trust that we had before, just because he feels I hurt him, and then like he's put back, and then just like waiting for me to like do everything, like I'm the
Love,
one that's like
love.
putting in the
This
effort,
is
why
not
is he
what
like
you're saying right
did
now.
like
What you're saying right now is not a question. So, in 8 words or less, what is the question?
the question is like, I'm just confused, like why would somebody be acting totally different from what they're telling me?
Cool. That's a period. Period. Right. That's right. That's in the sentence. Okay. So, how long have y'all been together?
Yeah,
How long have y'all been together?
we've been together for like 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay. How did y'all meet?
um from uni.
Okay. And what did you do to him that made him complain about the relationship?
I like broke up with him like on like 3 times
Okay. Why did you break up with him 3 times?
for no reason. Like, I just felt like I wasn't feeling it, so
So you broke up with him.
yeah.
You broke up with him 3 times,
Yeah.
and this is over a 2-year relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're confused as to why he's not acting the same.
Yeah. If
I'm a,
he's
I'm a
saying,
go. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, love, and I could be wrong. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say maybe it's
uh-huh,
because you broke up with him 3 times.
uh-huh.
Let's flip this. You're dating somebody and they break up with you 3 times. How do you feel?
I would feel emotionally disconnected.
Right. So would you still trust the relationship?
I don't think so.
You don't think so, right? So when you don't trust the relationship, guess what? You start acting differently. You don't lean into the connection anymore, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's how he's feeling.
Okay. Thanks for that.
Okay, no problem, love. You take care.
All right.
All right. Let's give her grace. She's 23. I know some of you guys, I couldn't see the profile pic, but here's the thing. I could tell from the silhouette that some of y'all are in the DMs right now. Guys, which one of you shot? Marty, I know you in there. I know you threw a little shot up. I know you threw a little shot up. You know, that silhouette can wash away a lot of sins. The silhouette washes away the sins, right? You heard if you listen to that with your eyes closed, you'd be like, oh my God, get her off the line, right? But then seeing, you're like, well, let's cut her some slack. Let's be nice here. be a little nice. They like break up with me, baby. Right. Right. I know how us men think. They're like, something poking back there. Let's hear her out. Actually, the word like is my favorite word in my vocabulary. So I don't see the issue here. I don't see the issue here. And you might got a shot because she seems to break up with him. Shorty just wakes up every day, flip a coin. Heads, it's over. It's every day flipping a coin on whether or not this relationship will survive until the next day. Now, why is he upset with me? Hilarious. Yeah, love, you might want to just leave that connection because it sounds like it's not going to work out. If you're not feeling it like that, it sounds like you don't really like him that much. You like how he treats you. That's different. That's different. But if you do break up with him, I'm sure there's someone in your DMs right now that will gladly take a spot. All right, some young guy in the chat. All right, who else do we have? Who doesn't look like a matchmaker? Okay. I think everybody from the queue dropped, didn't they? Monogamous relationships aren't real. Oh, okay. Need you to relax, love. Who let you out the loony house? How'd you get out the loony bin? Kelly, we need to get you back locked up. Hello? Hello? One more time. Hello? Did she sleep? Oh yeah, she knocked out. Go ahead and take her down. Go ahead and take her down. We gotta lower that BMI, love, because snoring quite loud over there. I'm gonna have to book one of your calls at the end of the month. You should. You absolutely should. All right. Kelly, I'm not letting you up because you're already weird. So don't request anymore. Thank you. Yo.
Hello.
What's going on, man?
I had a quick question. So I started talking to this girl that previously we had talked about 2 years ago, but it was nothing serious. So we started talking again in November, and then we started going out in December. And then in February, I asked her to be my girlfriend. And we were having a couple issues. The biggest one was, for me, was just sometimes like the way she would be kind of acting towards me when we would kind of like go out, be together. I would try to tell her like, oh, how come you don't try to like hold my hand or like kiss me when I try to do it? And she's like, oh, it's because I'm not used to it yet in a relationship. Something so new for us. And, I would be like, okay, but like, I would ask her like, there's a difference between when you're dating and now you're in a relationship. It's more serious, stuff like that. And then we would get into like, there's like little arguments about me trying to communicate with her with certain things I wouldn't like. And then I would ask her, be like, if me and you are always going out, like, how come I'm always paying for everything and you don't try to help out? But yet when you go out with your coworkers, you're always paying for yourself. Or when she goes out with her coworkers, she'll take them to like the beach. She'll be the one driving. But with me, because I live half an hour away from her, she would never drive towards me. She would never try to do plans with me. It was just always me doing these plans, and always paying for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to the point where I felt like kind of a little bit overwhelmed about like just doing everything while I see her doing things for her coworkers or her best friend that she works with.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I was like, hey, you know what? I know there's things I need to work on. So I was like, can you just give me a week to work on these things? Because I know sometimes I have an anger issue where if I don't communicate stuff and I hold on, I kind of let it all out at once. And I know I shouldn't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So we took like just that 1 week. I told her, I was like, I'm not trying to break up or anything. I'm like, let me just work on this, focus on that, and try not to be that type of person for you. Like, be the actual person that wants to communicate and show you that I'm willing to work on my issues.
Right.
For those things that could make our relationship better. And then during that time, she barely would talk to me. She would barely call me. She would barely message me. And I would always try to call her, text her, and she would always go out with her coworker. That's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
But she wouldn't tell me no more that what she was doing. And in one of her posts on social media, one of her coworkers came back to work, and he gave her a Red Bull, and she posted his name saying like, he's back. But yet, out of all the things I have given her, which is like get Starbucks delivered, flowers, taking out her dinner, she never ever mentioned me on her social media or ever tagged me. So that was like another thing that kind of got me upset. So to me, it's just like I'm wondering, like, am I overthinking certain of those issues, or are those issues like valid?
You kept mentioning coworkers. What is she doing for her coworkers?
When they would say like, "Oh, let's go to the beach," or they would go out after work for drinks, she would always like meet with them to go out with them.
Okay. Okay. So.
And then with me, like we would see each other like once or twice a week, but she would never come see me because she would always complain that I'm too far away from her.
Hmm.
And I'm 30 minutes away, and the beach from her is an hour away.
So she would drive further to hang out with her coworkers.
Yeah.
How did y'all meet?
We met through friends.
Okay. And how long have y'all been together?
We officially started dating in December, of this past year. And we made it official in February, but we broke up about a month and a half ago.
You broke up?
And we're still talking, but right now communication is like very off. It's like on and off.
Yeah. Why'd y'all break up?
Because I told her that I didn't like how she posted her coworker's name, but with me, of all the things I've like done for her,
Mm-hmm.
she's never like tagged me on her social media or posted my name, like saying like she was in a relationship. And just like her saying, like I told her, I was like, I feel like you do more things with your coworkers than you're willing to do for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like going out with them, going out after work with them, driving them to the beach, and not doing that same stuff for me. Willing to come drive and see me when I'm only 30 minutes away. I'm always the one seeing her.
Okay. So when you're still talking, what are y'all talking about?
As of right now, we mostly kind of just say good morning, how our day is kind of going. I try to ask her like, oh, when will I see you next? But one of the issues was that that we're not really spending that much time anymore was because she had invited one of her coworkers to go with us to Rosarito.
Mm-hmm.
And me and her had like a fallout because I had told her that her friend could come, which is her coworker, but I was the one that ended up paying for everything for them.
Okay.
When to me, I had only invited her.
Here's
and I
here's
agreed for
here's
her
here's
friend
the
to
thing,
come.
brother. Here's the thing, brother. You're being taken advantage of to an egregious degree,
Yeah.
and it's nobody's fault but your own. You got to get your balls back, man. You got to get your balls back. What do you mean her coworker came and you paid for her coworker? No. No, 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 no. No, you're not tripping by anything that you have an issue with. All of these are issues.
Yeah.
But you're allowing yourself to be taken advantage of. You're complaining about things. And it's probably very annoying. Because, like, with balls in hand, you say, oh, well, I brought this up to you. Doesn't seem like you really are motivated to change. So I'm going to get the fuck out of here. You take care of yourself. Right?
Yeah.
So when people know you're not going nowhere, they tend to treat you worse. So she has a lot of evidence that you're just going to do things for her and not say no in an attempt to get in her good graces. And she's breadcrumbing you. She's giving you just enough attention and time so that you feel like she's not like ignoring you completely. This is not someone who cares about you at all.
Yeah.
So if I were you, I would end it forever.
Yeah.
Block her, send her don't even give her a phone call. Don't even give her the benefit of giving a phone call. Just send her a text and then block her after that. And move on with your life. But with the integrated lesson that you have to stand up for yourself and have some boundaries.
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 33.
33. Yeah. So this is very important for you to like learn this lesson.
Yeah.
if you
and
don't-
she is older. She's 30. She's just gonna be 39 in this month.
Right. So you gotta, women like this love to run into men like you. They take advantage of them. Okay?
Yeah.
So you gotta stand up for yourself, brother. You gotta practice asserting yourself. You gotta
Yeah.
practice that in regular day-to-day life. Practice asserting yourself. You go to a restaurant and they give you the wrong meal. Hey, I didn't order this. You go through the drive-through, the fries are cold. Hey, the fries are cold. I need hotter fries. Right? Practice asserting yourself in all departments. And it's a skill that you have to begin to cultivate. All right?
How can I start doing that more to, like, I guess, kind of build myself to not tolerate those kind of things?
You said, how can you build yourself up more so where you don't tolerate those types of things?
Tolerate those kind of actions where I can be, like, more...
Yeah, it's exactly what I just said.
observant with
It's treat yourself like you're someone who you're responsible for, right?
Yeah.
Like there's an inner child within you. You're like the father of the inner child, right? Protect him.
Yes.
Right? So you just do it by, when you find these like micro examples throughout your day, you assert. And through doing that, you'll learn that people treat you with more respect. And when you get enough evidence that people treat you with more respect when you assert yourself, then you'll start doing it more naturally. You can also book a coaching call. We can go deeper because there's a lot more to unpack here. Shoot me a DM if you want to do that. Get a 1 hour coaching call. We can really unpack this. But for right now, it will be you just every day noticing opportunities where you need to assert yourself and then leaning into that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, brother. You take care.
You too.
All right, people. For the rest of y'all, if y'all want to solve y'all's issues, go deeper than we can go on these calls. You're spiraling. If you don't know what to do in your situation, whether dating life or in your relationship, you should get a 1 hour coaching call so you can finally get your answer and get the clarity that you seek along with a action plan. All right. So this icon right here, there's a button that looks like it below. Hit that. Shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation, and if I can help you, I will send you a link to book your call. Yes, he did sound like Danny a little bit. A little lighter version of Danny. Like if Danny was a Pokemon, he would be the evolved version of like that guy. That guy evolving like a Pokemon would be Danny. If that makes sense. What's up, Diamond? Diamond, you about to piss me off being late every night. I don't know what it is about you and Maya showing up late. See, Maya has an excuse because she's overseas right now. She trying to see what these men in Greece talking about. Is that a wedding? Okay. All right. Got an excuse. Is Maya still here? I know she popped in for a minute. Stavros? You like Stavros Halkias? I love Stavros, man. His podcast, not necessarily his stand-up. His stand-up is trash. His podcast is good, though. That's a funny fat motherfucker, man. For shiggity. All right, do we have any more calls? Yes, we got other people in the queue. Other people are in the queue. I think they all dropped, though, actually. So if you have a question, that button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, hit that. That will make you request up. I'll accept you and I'll solve your issue, okay? If you have a problem that you want answered, you'll get a guaranteed solution when you call in. But you gotta call in. You gotta call in. Okay, now the reel has slowed down. Yeah, we have had some good calls tonight, surprisingly. So far, so good. There's a woman on Facebook right now trying to educate me on attachment styles. A white one, of course. And so she's getting blocked, right? She's getting blocked. All the white ladies in the chat, I love y'all. It's just, you know, the whole Karen thing. Like, this is a Karen that we're talking about. Just a Karen. I love my white queens too. Not the Karens. I don't like the Karens. The Karens are annoying. I need my white ladies to be like Mary, who isn't here right now. I need them to be more like Mary, or more like Ani, you know? Not the Karen types. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I am well. I totally came on accident, but since I'm here, I guess I will ask a question.
Yeah. What's
How
going on?
do you know if you are genuinely acting from anxious attachment or if the connection truly is not viable?
That's a good question. So, are you in a situation like that currently, or is this like a hypothetical situation?
I guess I would be in a situation like this currently, somewhat, kind of,
Okay.
a little bit, maybe.
All right. Do you want to give a little bit of details as to why you feel that way? What brings you to this question?
Okay, so, I guess just because I guess the communication is inconsistent. So some days it's like we speak a lot. Some days we speak not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that I have an anxious attachment style.
Okay.
And so sometimes I will kind of tap into like, maybe this isn't it.
Right.
And then sometimes I will step back and say, okay, well, maybe you are looking at this a little too intensely. So yeah.
Okay. So, how long have y'all been together? Are y'all in a relationship?
No.
Okay. How long have y'all been dating? Like, just talking or going on dates?
Probably some months. Greater than 6 months.
Greater than 6 months? Okay. And how did y'all meet? You better not say dating app.
No. No
Okay.
dating.
I was about to say, you better not say it. How'd y'all meet?
Through church.
Through church? Okay, nice. All right. So, a little over 6 months, met through church. And what about his behavior is starting to make you feel a bit anxious?
I guess just the inconsistency. I think it's just that social media kind of trains us that, men or people in general who are interested will keep constant communication.
Okay. So you're talking about inconsistency with communication?
Right.
Okay. How frequently do y'all talk?
Most often daily.
Okay. So what would be the frequency for you? I think he's calling her right now. You on live talking about me? Oh, it's over. Let's give her a second to come back. Eva, you better be requesting like on purpose. Tired of your name accidentally popping up. What's going on your way? So that was him, wasn't it? It was him. Were you talking about me? Well, I'm gonna answer her question. It felt like it was going in a particular way. No, people are not just going to talk to you daily or like all the time. Problem with the anxious attachment is like constantly looking to make sure the person is still interested and still invested, right? And like I said on the earlier live, you don't only have a fear of abandonment, you also assume you will be abandoned, right? So you're always looking for signs for it. So I would imagine her situation, like Kiana just said, they talk daily on most days, but some days they don't. So she's probably looking at the days where they don't talk daily and looking at that as an example of the connection dying. Because another thing anxiously attached people do is they look at the most recent experience as being a reflection of the entire relationship. They suffer from recency bias. So when something happens, they don't zoom out and think about the entire relationship. They could have had like a good 2 weeks and then one off day. But because the off day happened most recently, that's what they fixate on, and that becomes the entirety of the connection. And it is draining, right? It drains them because it makes them a nervous wreck, but it also drains the person they're with because they seek reassurance from it. So, to answer her question, like I would want to go deeper into like what story is she telling herself? If she's telling herself the story of like, well, he doesn't talk to me all day, every day, therefore he's not interested in me, because if a man was interested in me, he would talk to me all the time. Well, then that's not realistic, right? But to answer the initial question that she had, how can you tell the difference between whether or not your anxiety is valid? One good heuristic, and this is not 100%, but this one will help you get clarity. One good heuristic is it something that still bothers you even when you don't feel anxious? Is it something you still have an issue with even without the anxiety being present? If you still have an issue with it when the anxiety isn't present, it's probably valid. But even that isn't 100%. A lot of times when you have a problem with something when you have anxious attachment, it's only a problem when you feel the anxiety. And then once you regulate, it's not a big deal no more. Right? Okay, well in that situation, the anxiety was the problem, right? It was the anxious attachment. But there's other times where you feel anxious because of something. And then even when you do regulate or sleep on it, and you don't feel the anxiety anymore. You still don't like it. Okay, well, that's something that's probably valid. Does that make sense? Hello.
Hello.
Yo, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I'm going through like an avoidant discard recently.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to get your opinion on kind of like the whole story, but it's a little long.
Okay.
Basically, I started dating this girl May 2nd of last year.
Mm-hmm.
The first date goes really well. Everything's going really well. And then for the first like 2 months, we kind of see each other like 4 times a day, like sleeping over there, like day and night for the first 2 months. And then I kind of ask her to make it official. And then she's a little hesitant at first. She's saying like, hey, like, I don't really get into relationships too much because I fear of like self-identity loss or like autonomy, things like that. And I'm like, okay, like that's fine. Like I'm not gonna wait forever, but like I can give you time to kind of process all of this. And then another month goes by, and we're still seeing each other very frequently. And I kind of crash out on her one night, and I'm like, hey, like if you're just gonna waste my time, like I'm just gonna leave, whatever. And then she kind of like changes her tune, and she was like, sorry for like being a little hesitant. Like I just don't know if I'd be a good girlfriend. I just really afraid of losing like my autonomy in relationships and like losing like my own perspective. So I was like, okay, like I'm not here to like take anything from you. I would want a partnership. But like long story short, we keep dating. Like we made it official 3 months in, and then we still see each other very, very frequently, 4 days a week. I introduced her to my parents, and then I asked her on Valentine's Day if I can meet her folks because I had met her sister, and then she was like very, very hesitant. I think one, just because we're different religions, but then also because she's never introduced anyone to her parents before and whatever. So like I was like, hey, like I'm not gonna force you to take this next step if you're not ready. And then basically the next month rolls by. I throw her like a surprise 30th birthday, and then we're all good. Like I don't see any signs of withdrawal. Like there's like no push and pull really, but everything's kind of going well. But basically, we hit our 1 year anniversary, and we go to Philly for the weekend, and we run this bit of like we're like engaged, just like looking to Philly, looking to move to Philly to like live, and the whole weekend was really good. And then 2 days later, after we get back, she hits me with like, hey, like I have a gut feeling that this isn't going to work. And I was just so confused. And I was like, hey, like we just spent like a whole year together. Our 1 year anniversary was like really good. Like, where is this coming from? And she just like, I was like, can you verbalize what this gut feeling is? And she was like, yeah, I just have so much love for you in my head. I know you're a good partner, this, but just something in my heart is like, I don't know if I'm in love. And I'm like, well, like everything you've been saying is like, has been showing me that you're in love, but like, I'm just mad confused. And basically that was it. So that happened all about like 3-4 weeks ago, and I'm just like, I've been distraught. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough, man. What's your question here, though?
So I guess my question is, like I've been getting a lot of these like fearful, avoidant, dismissive, avoidant like TikToks recently, and I keep seeing that, but like I just don't know like if she's acting like that because her nervous system is deregulated, or if she's like, and this is probably not a question you can answer, but it's just like, how do you know whether you're in love or like you just have love for someone?
I can tell you that a lot of times when people break up with you, you can't really take to heart like their reasoning for it.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
you're looking at it like, okay, you said this is where you are, so that must be the truth, right? A lot of times, especially if you're talking about someone who's avoidantly attached, more than likely, which it sounds like she is, and she may even have some awareness of it. If she's using words like autonomy, people don't walk around using words like autonomy regularly, right? They use it because they're watching the same type of videos you're watching, okay? Or they're in therapy or something like that, right? So she sounds, that's avoidant language, or at least, you know, that's what avoidants do, try to protect their autonomy and independence, okay? And they tend to end things after like a high moment a lot of the times because they get freaked out and scared. They don't want to lose themselves in the connection, and they can see themselves losing themselves in the connection because they like you so much. They only become avoidant with people they like. They're not avoidant with people they don't like, because there's no threat there.
Right. It's easy.
So right. So by her ending something after such a high moment, it's like it shows that she actually did like you, but she was scared, and then she rationalized. Everything in her body was screaming leave, and then she had to make sense of it herself.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It just seems so counterintuitive to me. It's just like everything's going well, and then
Right.
like you kind of just leave it on like a high note when like you don't even really give it a chance. Like you're kind of pulling the plug prematurely because you're afraid something might happen down the line when it possibly could not happen down the line. So I don't know. It's just been racking my brain for the last month.
It's rough, man. That's
so,
part of the
yeah.
process, especially when people, when they get, like you said, go through an avoidant discard, because it's so jarring, because it's like, feel like the rug was pulled from under you. In other situations, you may, like, when other people break up with you, you may see the writing on the wall, like things aren't going well. You can kind of see it coming, so you can kind of mentally brace for it. But when things are going well and people do it, it's like, where did this come from, right? Like you felt kind of safe in the connection. So I get it, and I understand like this being something that you're probably looping on and trying to make sense of it. It's just you're not going to, not from your perspective. You would have to look at things from her perspective. And from her perspective, getting close is very scary. Like even somatically, you'll hear some avoidants say like it feels like a weight on their chest. Some of them, like, it's hard for them to even breathe when they get close to somebody. So it's like even somatically, everything is screaming for them to leave and create distance.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. No, I appreciate the opinion. Thank you.
No problem, brother. Best of luck to you. All right.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. It doesn't make sense, but the mind would do what it do. Right. It's best to try not to make sense of it, because you'll drive yourself crazy. Like, I do something? Is it something I said? It's like, no. Actually, you doing and saying the right things is what put you in that situation to begin with. As weird as that sounds. They say sometimes the catalyst for avoidantly attached people to actually start to try to heal is they end up losing somebody they didn't mean to lose, or they end up breaking enough hearts so they're like, okay, something got to give. Something has to give. I can't keep doing this. Because they do regret it. They regret it. See, when they say avoidantly attached people go through 2 honeymoon phases. So when they end things with you, that's the second honeymoon phase for an avoidant. And they suppress their emotions, so they don't really feel like how strongly they feel about you until time passes. And then those emotions they were suppressing starts bubbling back up, and they're like, oh, I actually missed them, right? And then it's like, yeah. Allie, what's going on, love?
Hi, good night.
So I want to know, what tips do you have for meeting people? Like, I am a little bit old. I'm like 37 years old. I don't have any kids, and I am very much a homebody. I literally work from home and go to the gym. Like, that's my life. I might go out on the weekends, but for the most part, I'm always at home.
Right.
And I'm at a stage in my life where, being that I don't have any kids, if I do meet somebody, it would have to be someone that is, I don't want to say well off, but is stable financially, maybe a homeowner. Because I really don't want to have any kids, but if I do, I want to have them with somebody that's stable financially.
Right.
Another like tough part is, I want to find someone that is a homeowner, but I'm not quite there in my life yet. Like, I'm not a homeowner. So I find that a lot of men who have it together, they want women who are in the same like financial bracket as them, like successful, have an education. They want to find someone that already has their shit together, and I'm still working on that. So how do you meet men that are, I guess, a little bit more open to, I don't know, just meeting, talking to a woman that don't have it all together,
When you say you don't have it all together, what does that mean?
So I'm not a homeowner.
Okay.
Right now I'm not making a whole lot of money.
Okay.
So I'm trying to like get my business off the ground, but that's gonna take time.
What business? What business do you have?
I had a boutique
Okay.
that I closed back during the pandemic. So I'm trying to reopen it, but it's gonna take like a lot of investing. I'm gonna have to get like a sourcing agent and get a marketing strategist. Like, it's a lot that I want to do before I reopen my business. So I'm not quite there yet financially, but I still want someone to talk to. Like, I don't want to get too wrapped up in being into a relationship. I just want to have like a love interest, someone that I could talk to.
Okay, you got a lot going on, love. That's why do you want someone just to talk to and not have a relationship with them?
I know. I just feel kind of lonely. It gets lonely. I don't have a lot of
hold on.
friends in this state. And
okay. Hold on one second. So, but why does it matter if he has a house or not?
Well, if I do decide to be in a relationship with a man, I want the two of us to be like financially independent. If I do get a kid, I want to know that even if we decide to go our separate ways, he is well off financially, and I could take care of my own the same way too.
I'm gonna be honest with you, love. This is like a Kevin Samuels moment. This is a Kevin Samuels moment. What are we talking about right now? Like, your first mistake is you're already like, you don't have a focused goal as to what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So I want someone to talk to, but he also has to be a homeowner. Okay, why does he have to be a homeowner if you just want to talk to him? Well, if I do decide to get into a relationship, no. That's probably a problem you have with business too.
Yeah.
If you're thinking
business is like completely different. My business is, that's something that's gonna require
possibly, but your thinking around this is very hazy, and you needed me to reveal to you that your thinking is very hazy around this. And normally, when people have that problem, it extends to other domains as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So you haven't even set a clear goal for your romantic life, which tells me that you're probably hazy with other goals as well. Okay. So you either want to be in a relationship or you want to date casually. Pick one. Which one do you want?
I definitely just want to date casually.
Okay. Well, you know what makes it more complicated? If you want to date casually, making sure a person that you see casually is a homeowner.
Right.
So that's not important now because you want to date casually.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, I guess my expectations are too high if I just want to be casual with this person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah. No, thank you. I feel like I needed to hear that.
All right, love. Well, best luck to you, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay. What do y'all think? What do y'all think the Godfather Kevin would have said in that situation? That was a Kevin Samuels moment. That would have been a clippable Kevin Samuels clip if he was still with us. But yeah. Also, what she said about men wanting people who make as much as them, there's some truth. That's more of a class conversation. You'll see more of that with like people who have like generational wealth and things of that nature, right? Not someone who's like a first generation college graduate or the first one in their family to touch money. That's normally not something they weigh as heavily. But other people, yeah, it is a thing. She want a rich man to spend on her. Maybe being a homeowner doesn't necessarily mean a rich man, but I think she was making the mistake of combining all of her potential goals into one situation. So it's like, well, how can I get everything I want, but then give him the short end of the stick? Right. I also think her assumption that men who are financially well off not wanting women who aren't was her rationalizing her experience of not being able to find one. So she was like, well, I haven't found one. So it must be because I don't have the money. That ain't why it is. That ain't why it is. No. What other hypotheses do you have? But that ain't the one. That's not it. For sure. She's saying homeowner, but we know what she meant. I don't know, bro. Normally when they just want someone with money, they say like 6-figure earner or something like that. I believe we are always attracted to what we either admire within ourselves or lack within. Partially true. That's partially true. That's certainly a variable. Homeowners move people in quickly? What do you mean, CC? What point are you making? I'm confused. Are you saying that's her expectation? Homeowners are likely looking for a serious relationship and mostly ready to settle down. Yeah. Yep. I get the vibe that she actually does want a serious relationship. There's just something holding her back from admitting that to herself. Everything that she said, most of what she said in the call aligned with like serious relationship. But there seems to be some hesitancy there. She says she's mostly home. She can't find someone if she doesn't put herself out there. Right. Sounds controlling. Okay. If he owns a home, she's not going to contribute to it. She can pour into her business. That's fair. But I would imagine her business is something that she's trying to get off the ground like relatively soon. But it's possible. That is possible. Self-perception, self-doubt, right? Boyfriend said I spend too much time with my niece, nephew, but I still see him 4 times a week. When y'all make statements and put a question mark, you're not fooling me. There's no question there. Ask me a question. What specifically are you trying to solve? She just needs to focus on herself. I don't disagree with that. It's also part of the problem, though. She said she was 37. Yeah, she could focus on herself, but let's be fat. Let's be quick about it. 37. Let's be quick about it. Shit gets weird at 40. Dating wise. Especially for women. So this shit don't get no easier the older you get. She has 30 minutes. This shit don't get no easier the older you get. It don't get no easier. It only gets harder. It only gets harder. So don't focus on yourself too long. Don't focus on yourself too long. Because man, oh man. I got women in my family who, 40, 50, single. I hear the stories. It ain't no walk in the park out here. I was telling someone in my family the other day, I said, you need to find you a widower. You just hang out by the cemetery. Look for a man who's crying. If you hear him say, oh, Susan, okay, keep your eye on him. Follow him home. Or just follow him wherever he's going next. Create a chance encounter. You got to get you a widower, right? To the widowers, if I started a dating app, it would be widowers meet women or some shit like that. I don't know. WW. That's what I would do, because those are viable options. Those are just look at the newspaper every day. Read the newspaper. Look at the the people who die, the obituaries. Right? WMW, women meet widowers. Look at the obituaries. When it says like Susan passed away, she leaves behind husband. All right, what's her husband's name? John. Go find John. Go find John. Telling you that's where, you know who you don't want? You don't want Jim, who is 54, ain't never been married, 6 kids. You don't want him. You don't want him. I promise you don't want him. There's a reason why he's in that life situation. You don't want that one. But that's most of them. That's most of them at that age. That's most of them. That is most of them. You want ideally the widower. Second, and it's a distant second at that. It's a distant second. It just happens to be second, but it's still a distant second. Is someone who's divorced. And the divorce goes in 2 camps. If he divorced her, that's ideal. If he divorced her, yeah, that's better than her divorcing him. That's better. Now you're gonna have to. She probably cheated on him, so you're gonna have to pay for the price of her sins, because he gonna be watching your ass like a hawk. Huh? You leave him to go to work, binoculars. At the window, binoculars. Where the hell is she going? Right? That'll die down though. That'll die down. You just gotta put up with that. Beggars can't be choosers. You should have got your shit together at 22. You decided not to. So here we are. All right. So you either read that obituary. This one. Is that me? Okay. Or you get you a divorcee who initiated the divorce because his wife cheated on him. That's what if you hired me for a strategist, this is what I'd tell you to do. That's really the most optimal. I'm only half joking, by the way. I'm only joking because I know this isn't a realistic thing to do, but it also is 100% true that those are going to be the best options. I thought I did say that because my son's here as well and my nephew's here, and they have tablets, so the same noise goes off. So I'm a 58 and a widow, so I need to get started. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm half joking. I don't know how you would actually execute on what I just said, but you get 40s, 50s. You don't want the old washed up player, man. You don't want him. Have them give them time because that like 18 years again. Right, yeah, you got to give it a little grace period for the divorcees because am I pronouncing that correctly? Anyway, because they do want to get a little wild when they get divorced. They're trying to be free. I still want to get 30 years out of somebody. Meaning you want to be with them for 30 years? Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. CC. Go to the grief share meetings. It's a whole dating scene. Hey. Ani's on it. How to detach from a situationship. Time. Helly, how old are you? Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Helly? Healy? Helly, Healy? You said 47 or 30. Which one was it? 47 or 37? I'm assuming 37. I'll help you move on right now. My shooter's in the chat. Check out Helly's profile pic and do your thing. Hop in those inboxes. Hop in their inbox. Where you located, Helly? Where you located? Philly. My guys in Philly or close to Philly. Helly's trying to move on. She said she needs some TLC. Go ahead and make that happen. Blow that inbox up. I know I got some fellas, some shooters in the chat right now. You know, hopefully you've been coached by me. I don't want none of the guys who was shooting. I remember who y'all was shooting that old girl with the silhouette. I ain't forgot. Talking about check your inbox. Nah, none of them guys. None of them guys. Guys that got a little, you know, a little smooth. You feel me? Not the weird ones. Not the weird ones. You've been coached by me or you watched at least 10 hours of this live. Do your thing with Helly, all right? Go ahead and shoot at her. Helly, you're welcome. I try. So how do we, hold on. Ben said, Helly, you like them younger? So how do we learn to date after being in a 10 plus year relationship? Why does your relationship end? Does she need to heal? Yeah, she does, but you know, you know. It's my toxic advice for today. What question was I on? Somebody else. Okay. Ariel. So how did we learn to date after being in a 10 plus years relationship? So have you tried dating at all, Ariel? He passed. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Didn't expect you to say that. How long has it been? Trying to gauge if you're like even in a place to date yet. Because 10 years is a long time, especially 10 plus years. 16 months, it might be kind of early, love. How old are you? I mean, it's not 33. Okay. Do you feel up to it? Have you tried dating at all since you've been single now? Or have you just been like grieving this whole time? That's tough. Lose someone at 33 like that. Still waiting on you, Ariel, to respond so I can hit my next point. Not necessarily dating, but I talked to someone for a short period. Definitely wasn't ready then. Okay. You might be ready now. I don't have you on the call, but I will say if you've never had a considerable amount of time single where you've not romantically engaged anyone, a danger here would be you needing some sort of romantic connection. And if you need a romantic connection, it can position you to make poor choices. Because need creates urgency, and urgency is the father of bad decisions. So you don't want to be in a situation where you need a romantic connection, right? You say it's been 10 plus years, you're 33, y'all got together at 23. So it's likely you don't know life without being in a relationship. You may not have a solid identity outside of being in a relationship. And if that's the case, I would encourage you to spend more time by yourself to get to know who you are outside of a relationship. Okay? Now, if that's not the case, that's not your situation. If you do have a strong rooted and grounded identity, if you do have a strong sense of self, then I would recommend for you to take the static environment approach, which is you go to environments where you see the same people over and over again. Doing so will make it easier to meet people platonically, but also to form romantic connections. That's why it was easier to get in relationships when you were in school than why so many people date or want to date their coworkers, because they're around those people a lot. It's called the mere exposure effect. The more experiences you have with the person, the more likelihood you can develop a liking towards them. Okay? You want to take advantage of that by putting yourself in static environments. So get clear on what your likes are, what your interests are, and get clear on what type of man you want to have, what qualities he has, and then put yourself in static environments that select for those traits. So if you want a man who is in shape but is very ambitious and a high earner, join a luxury gym, right? If you want someone who is, has Christian values and wants to be a man of God, maybe join certain Christian volunteer efforts, right? Volunteer groups. Just choose the environment that selects for the traits that you're looking for. And ideally have more than one. Ideally have more than one. There's a lot more to share about that. So if you want your 1 hour coaching call for her or anyone else in the chat, this icon right here, hit that button below, shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If I can help you, I will send you a link to book your call. Okay. That's for people who want clarity, who don't know what's going on. They don't know, if they should stay in this relationship, if they should leave, if this person's right for them. Why is this person doing that? Right? What is it about me that keeps me from attracting the guy I want, but I keep attracting these people I don't want? Or, how do I know if she is the right one for me? Any of those kind of issues. We'll solve the problem in the 1 hour coaching call. Okay. This is why we need more third spaces. Sure. Me and Danny gonna cook up some more third spaces when we likely next year. Right. But some third spaces are also digital. Like this live is like a static environment technically. Yeah, there's new people here every day, but there's also like a core group of like the same people here every day. So this is technically a static environment, even though it's digital. How long would the talking stage typically take before going out on an actual date? I recommend it shouldn't be more than a week or two. It should not be more than a week or two. If you're not going out, if it takes longer than 2 weeks to go out, like go ahead and wrap it up. Do everyone a favor and wrap it up. Because what are we doing? All right, what kind of last minute questions do we have? No more calls though. No more calls. I'm all called out. But what kind of last minute questions do we have? You can drop them in the chat. Ask her out during the first real conversation. Right. The best time to ask someone out is during like a peak in the conversation, like an emotional high. Honestly. Especially because women are so feeling focused. So if you time it right, things will go in your favor. Sounds he doesn't have capacity, but he has feelings. It's a good question. But here's the thing, though. What's built into your question is like hope, because it's almost like you're hoping, like clinging to, well, he has feelings, so I should stay. No, Somebody who doesn't have capacity, leave them alone. So you're typically going to see people who have like moderate capacity and low capacity. There's also high capacity. What's up, dude? So low capacity individuals. Okay, first thing, there's two ways to test somebody's capacity: an increase in intimacy and introducing conflict or friction to the connection, right? So intimacy and friction are the ways you test somebody's capacity. Normally, this is also gendered for the most part, generally speaking. Women, intimacy is the best way to test their capacity, because with a lot of women, if you get too close to them, they'll run. For men, it will be friction, because a lot of guys want things to be easygoing, and the moment their peace is ruined, they get going, right? So intimacy and friction is how you test capacity. So with low capacity, if you introduce intimacy or friction to the connection, they typically will run. They'll create space. And a lot of times they won't return. Or it'll take them a while to return, like a week or so. Or when they do return, they never get back to baseline, meaning they're just forever weird after that. So maybe y'all used to FaceTime every other day, and then you set a boundary, or you got close to them, and then they created distance, and then 4 days later they came back. But now they never want to get on FaceTime. There's always an excuse. Their phone is being weird, or their mother's calling them, or, there's weird after that. That's low capacity. Leave that situation. You can't make it work with low capacity individuals. They're going to always be weird, and they're probably going to end things themselves at some point. Moderate capacity individuals, when you introduce intimacy or friction, they're also going to create distance, but they typically will return within 24 to 72 hours. They typically will return within 24 to 72 hours, and they'll return back to baseline. That's somebody who it could work with. They have enough capacity for connection. There's also high capacity individuals where they can stay in the connection even when it's uncomfortable, but most of the single market is going to be low and moderate. So that's what you want to differentiate between. If you're dealing with a high capacity individual, you wouldn't even be asking this question. So determine if they're low or moderate. If they're low, get out of there. It doesn't guarantee that moderate is going to work either, but it just means that it's possible with them. He's definitely moderate. Okay. We just have to make peace, because it's going to be cyclical. Them creating distance is going to be cyclical. It's going to be cyclical. So you're going to have to make peace with the fact that they're going to get triggered again, and they're going to create distance again. But over time, things should normalize. And the way that you play that is, you don't try to force a conversation or be like, what's wrong? You're just there. And when they return, you're warm. So anyway, there's more I can say on that. So if you want to hear more, get your coaching call, your 1 hour coaching call. It's the icon right here. Hit that button below. Shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If I can help you, I will send you a link to book your call. All right. But that's going to do it for me, folks. As y'all know, I take Sundays off, so no live tomorrow. But I will be back Monday at noon Eastern time. So if you want to watch the replays of these lives, I have it on YouTube. Link in bio for that. At The Signal Dating is the YouTube channel. If you're new here, make sure to follow. If I didn't get to your question tonight, I will get to it Monday afternoon or Monday night. Yeah, that'll do it for me. Appreciate the mods. Appreciate the chat. I will see you all next week. Y'all take care.